Good.
This is Jamie Drummond for Good Food Revolution. I am here with Bernardino Sandi, who's joining us all the way from Italy. How are you today, sir?
Very good, very good.
Now, we are here and we've been tasting the wines from your company, Argiano. Argiano is one of the oldest properties in the region, is it not?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. It dates back to the 15th century, the production of wine, and has always been a winery and producing olive oil and wine, and is one of the winery who joined first Bernardino Sandi when he started the production of Brunello di Montalcino.
How many wines do you make today?
We make Rosso di Montalcino, Brunello di Montalcino, the Riserva of Brunello di Montalcino just in a very special vintages like 2010, plus the NC and the Solengo.
Now, the NC is your Rosso Toscano.
Yes, it is.
And tell us a little bit more about the Rosso Toscano. I was actually quite impressed with that wine, and very good value as well for $21.95.
It is our probably most valuable wine. It's made out of Cabernet Sauvignon together with Syrah, Merlot, and Sangiovese. So the story is this: we had a very famous, iconic consultant winemaker in the 90s, that is Giacomo Takis. He went to consult to Argiano and started to plant Cabernet, Merlot, Petit Verdot, that at the time wasn't even in the vineyards certificated by Tuscan regulation, and Syrah. He started to make the Solengo, and after a while we came out with a baby Solengo, that is the NC, and it's actually very nice wine, very fruity with, it's fruity but at the same time full body, and it's kind of international taste, but with the Sangiovese that gives nice acidity, nice food-friendly palate. So it's a gastronomic wine and very flexible. You can use it in different occasions and has a good price, and it's also one of my favorite.
What is your overall size of production in any one vintage, approximately? And then what kind of percentage of that production is the NC?
So the overall production in Argiano is 330,000 bottles, and out of that we make 120,000 bottles of Brunello di Montalcino, almost 100,000 bottles of NC, 50,000 bottles of Rosso di Montalcino, and the rest is Solengo and the Riserva in special vintages, so the Riserva di Brunello.
All right, and how much does vintage affect the wines that you're making at your winery? Because we were tasting across 3 different vintages here: 2013, 2011, 2014.
So we try to respect the vintage, and we try to be true to our terroir. We are also organic, so in the very hard vintages, of course, we can have more problems. But I have to say that Argiano's terroir, Argiano soils are very great. We are in a lucky position. We are southwest of the hill of Montalcino, facing the Mediterranean Sea, with a high mountain, the higher mountain of the region, Monte Amiata, that is on the left and protecting us from major storms. So it's actually, to me, more difficult to make wine when we have a very dry and hot year, like sometimes happens, rather than in the more cool and rainy years.
In tasting through your wines today, it really stuck out to me that your wines are, I would neither say that they were traditional nor contemporary, but kind of a cross between the two.
We try to respect our history. We are very old, and we have a very old castle, and still we are aging our wines in the underground cellar underneath the villa of Argiano, and at the same time we look at the future. We are a winery that exports in 55 different countries, so we try to be to respect the times and the history, and at the same time propose always something very nice, very approachable, that goes very well with the different kind of customers that we have.
Where are most of your customers? Where are your wines mostly exported to?
So the best market, not only for Argiano but for Montalcino in general, for Brunello, is the United States. That overall I think is almost 1/3 of the production. And apart from that, Canada is a great market for us.
Okay.
We are strong in the different region, and Europe So the traditional market like Germany, Belgium, UK, and Switzerland and Austria, and also the domestic market, Italy is pretty strong for us.
I was going to ask, what percentage of your production goes into the domestic market?
We had a time 10 years ago where it was very low, 5%. We raised, and we are now almost 20%.
20%, I'm sure that's interesting. Now, as well as the more traditional Brunello di Montalcino and the Reserva that you make in particular vintages, I was also intrigued by this wine over here, the Solengo. You said you had been making that since 1995. What's the story behind that wine?
So the Solengo, the name of Solengo is given by the name that the hunters call the wild boar in Tuscany.
Yeah.
So Solengo means wild boar, and the one who really created this one is Giacomo Takis. Giacomo Takis, after working with Antinori for many years and starting the production of Tignanello, of Solaia, and after working also with Sassicaia, he came to consult to Argiano. He decided to make his creation there, and he started making a blend of Cabernet Sauvignon with Merlot, Syrah, and Sangiovese. After some years, he added Petit Verdot, and Solengo is now a blend of Cabernet Sauvignon majority with a high percentage of Petit Verdot, 20 up to 30%. That makes it extremely spicy, extremely intriguing, and Syrah and Merlot in equal parts. The aging is totally different from the one of the Brunello. We use the traditional oak, big oak barrels called Botti for the Brunello, and we use the Barrique, the French little barrels, 225 liters for the Solengo. So we have two different wines, both powerful, but this is very food friendly, very traditional. This is a glass of wine that is intriguing, is rich, is thick, is powerful.
Very cool. And what does the future hold for Argiano? What new projects do you have in the pipeline?
So we have been spending the last years working together with Alberto Antonini, our consultant winemaker, and Pedro Parra, that is a Chilean expert of terroir, to make a micro-zonation, micro-mapping of all our vineyards, and we came out with a selection of the 6 best spots of inside Argiano vineyards that we are now winemaking separately. Out of that, we will make our Classico Brunello, but we also have a special project regarding the oldest vineyards of Brunello di Montalcino, 60 years old vineyard called Suolo, and we will come out in 2020 with Brunello Vigna del Suolo, made with the 15 vintage.
So it's a vineyard designated Brunello di Montalcino?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Well, really enjoyed tasting through your wines today. Thank you very much for spending some time with us at Good Food Revolution.
Wow, thank you very much.
Bye for now.
Grazie. Cheers to everybody.